Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing and finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the vignette side story, Preluding Lights. Alright everybody, with this upload we are actually fully done with the old catalog of every single vignette side story, intermezzi, and of course the main story is also currently done until the next upload comes to global. We have achieved it. The entire story selection of Arknights is categorized and uploaded to the channel. Huzzah! It is done. But yeah, thank you very much guys for all the support so far, and yeah, from now on it's pretty much mostly just gonna be new stories, and as it would be so, one is literally dropping tomorrow, which puts me literally back into work mode. But that will be for tomorrow. For now, we're gonna be going straight into our three final stories in here. As always, timestamps are provided down in the pinned comment in the comment section below, but there will be no recap right now, so give me 1 minute and we'll be straight to our first story. Yeah, as always, guys, thank you very much for all the likes on the previous part and the comments as well. And one comment. One comment, sorry if I'm laughing already, one comment cracked me the hell up on the previous part, so thank you very much. Little backstory to how I saw that comment. I literally woke up, turned on the PC, sat down, went to YouTube to the dashboard to see how the video is doing and see if there are any comments on the part, and I saw a comment that pretty much had a sentence in there saying that my grandmother voice acting is very iconic. So imagine that is the first thing you see as a message when you wake up. I laughed. Sorry, I don't mean it in any bad way, of course. That literally cracked me the hell up. The moment I saw that message, I was just like, yep, that's a way to wake up. That is one way to wake up. So thank you very much for that. Oh my god, the grandmother voice. Anyway, again, thank you for that comment, and yeah, let us proceed into our first of our three final stories of this vignette. And I would kind of like to call these final three stories foreshadowing much, but you will see, if this is the first time you're seeing these three, especially the lighthouse one and the letter one, you'll see what I mean when we get into them. And yeah, for now, let us begin with our first of the three finales, Forgotten Lighthouse. Let's go. 2:18 p.m. Clear. Deserted coastal town, north of Iberia.
We've arrived at the specified coordinates. The target building's outside appearance matches the description outlined in the preliminary survey report. Our team will now proceed into the building for an inspection. We may need to cut the transmission. Watch for flares, in case anything happens. Blue Poison, over and out. There's an entrance here. It doesn't look like the builders intended for this to be here. The edges are pretty rough, like it was hacked open with an axe. Perhaps the bounty hunters did this. I heard some of them like to come treasure hunting here. That's probably because they aren't Iberians. Right, ruins like this one are more than toxic to those who got out of that alive. As for the ones that stay behind, the Church, the Inquisition, they have no way to make it here. They already paid too high a price, and they wouldn't want to see any of this. It's just like how I never wanted to look at my legs when I was a kid. No matter how much I tried, they just couldn't run. Iberia as it is now doesn't want to see any of those broken parts. Look at you, using yourself as an analogy again. I'm starting to feel bad. I can tell you're joking this time. Electromagnetic pulse field released. So, should we go up or down? Your call. I'm thinking up. I'm not entirely sure why, but I feel up is the way to go. This place is like a tower. A tower? How tall do you think it is? The part that stands above ground is at most 3 stories. What could its purpose be? In that case, I guess we should go down. Hmm? You just reminded me that we have no idea how far down it might go. Let's find out then. And don't worry, I got your back. That puts my mind at ease, though I do hope we won't end up in a fight. It's dark in here. The lighting system is busted. You can't fix it? The Iberian technology here is several decades old. Their wiring is nothing like Raytheon's. If you give me a few more days... Don't worry about it then. We'll let closure and engineering worry about it later. We won't be staying in this coffin pit for long. Coffin? It's an analogy. Or maybe not. There is a foul stench lingering in this building. It's been abandoned for years, and then it was flooded with seawater and buried by mud. Shh! Say, if we don't talk, do you suppose we'll hear ghosts screaming? Ghosts? Oh, it's just a joke. Try not to tug so hard on my clothes. I like this new outfit a lot. We should switch on our portable originium lamps. Now it's much brighter. You seem to be a big fan of these technological ruins. This kind of technology only existed in the coastal towns of the past. You don't see them much in Iberia these days. What are they for? For observation? To relay signals? Or could it be for sightseeing? Perhaps it was for locking people up. Possibly. When we look at the Iberia of the past, we see the technology that they left behind, like gold covered in dust. Yet during those radiant times, there were countless bones buried underneath El Dorado. I'm sorry. What are you apologizing for? The bones of the Aegers who took my ancestors away to Iberia have long been eroded by the sea waves. I don't hate Iberia, nor do I hate the Aeger people. Now I suppose I don't even hate myself as much anymore. This is all thanks to the doctor and you, Glau. Does this technology give you any bad memories? All I care about is whether this place will be of any use to Rhode Island. In the end, this is what we are here for, no? Right. We're here to scout out the surroundings, to analyze the data, and to confirm what we can retrieve. Too bad that this place has been torn apart inside and out, though. If it was just the time and the environment, the parts wouldn't be this wrecked. Look at this part here. It went so far... Ah! What's wrong? Why did you pull out your franker all of a sudden? There's a ghost! A ghost? You mean the shadow in the path ahead? It isn't moving. Doesn't seem to be alive. Judging from his getup, it seems he was a bounty hunter. We haven't made it very far from the entrance. Perhaps he was the one who cracked it open, and he died here after he came inside. Oh, I see. Wait, let's not get any closer yet. We still don't know how he died. You think it could be dangerous? A bounty hunter died so close to the entrance. We'll have to watch out for whatever killed him. Stand back a little more. I can smell the scent of seawater. Seawater? We're pretty far away from the shore. You don't mean...
Though Blue Poison told Glaucus to stay where she is, she continues to walk toward the corpse. She kneels down about a meter away, observing it closely.
Okay, it's just some seagrass. It's a full skeleton, no sign that he was eaten by any monsters, and there are no other fatal injuries. No trace of any common toxins that could lead to death either. Judging from his posture, he likely got himself tied up in the seagrass and drowned. I don't see any water though. It's dry everywhere. Take a closer look at the rust left on the wall. I can see some areas are more rusted than others. So this place was flooded twice then? The seawater destroyed the building the first time around. Whatever its function was, that was when it failed. The second time, the seawater gushed into this place again, flooding its insides once more. And this poor bastard happened to be in here at the time. He likely thought he'd hit the jackpot, and was happily tearing away at the things in the wall. He didn't manage to escape in time when the seawater began to flood the building, and the seagrass had his arms and legs caught. He lost his life after struggling for a while. You can't really blame him. He was a Quaranta. Poor guy. They don't know the strength of the sea. The doctor once mentioned that research on the ocean is, for the most part, done only by a handful of oceanologists. It's not a very popular field. Well, it's not really that strange. We are only interested in the things that we can see and conquer. Perhaps the Iberia of the past was the sole exception. It's all in the past. I haven't seen the ocean myself either. I'm not even sure why you're so sensitive to the scent of seawater. Have you heard that rumor? About the disaster? We don't talk about that. That's not allowed in Iberia. You're all used to avoiding the subject. It's hard to kick your habits. We don't talk much about our homeland at Rhode Island. Besides, each of us has a different impression of that incident, and sometimes even about that whole area. I've talked to Weedy about it. Both of us are Aegers who grew up in Iberia, and I've come to realize the Iberia in her eyes is totally different from the one I see. That's nothing strange, no? If you are not allowed to discuss the incident, then the only thing you will remember of it is the small fragment that you saw with your own eyes.
Okay, not to interrupt here for too much, but just for a clarification, because we can't do it nowadays. The thing, or rather, let's go in order. This story was released about 6 months before Undertides, and the thing that they are talking about here is something that we'll learn about a bit more in detail through both Undertides and the follow-up story, Stultifera Navis, and it is the Profound Silence, essentially. Anyway.
They are taking the chance to piece the fragments together from the people. There's only the two of us now. I could talk about it, but I'm afraid to do that. It's like something has my throat blocked. I'm worried that as soon as I talk, the shadows cast on the path here will charge toward me. As I say that, even though I know it's just shadows cast by the Originium lamp. Shadows. What a fine analogy. They skillfully redirect everyone's attention away, such that they fear the shadows rather than the enormous truth that lies behind. It's so cold, but I'm sweating. In the past, I would never even imagine that I could stand here and talk to you about this. Everyone feels that way. I suppose this pitch-black, sealed-off building is protecting us. There's a dead body here, and we don't know what lies ahead. But this keeps me even more at ease than a wide-open space. The walls here give us a false sense of security, a sense that everything's under our control. You're right. At least there isn't another pair of eyes staring at us. No, I'm not so sure about that. Stop trying to scare me. Okay, I'll stop. Back to the topic of the disaster. The Inquisition isn't actually to blame for the decision. The decision to not talk about that was made by the Aegers who came ashore. Huh? I guess it was a form of self-protection. Self-protection? Do you know why the Aegers came ashore? I don't know. I thought we were meant to be here to begin with, though it seems most Iberians don't agree with that. I'm not so familiar either. Yeah, but you know more than we do, at the very least. It's funny. The history slowly disappeared from the Aegir's memories, and we are the ones who still remember any of it. My ancestors were taken away by the Aegir's some 100 years ago. They wanted the toxic ability that we were born with. Why is that? They kept extracting the toxins for experiments. They were trying to figure out whether these subterranean toxins could be used as some kind of weapon. What were they trying to attack with that? I have no idea. How could I have seen it? From my elders tell me, it was an enormous terrifying monster that doesn't exist on land. It's from the sea. All I can say is that's extraordinarily likely. I thought about asking the doctor or Dr. Calcit, or even the hunters directly. Once I happened upon Operator Skadi. This question immediately rose to the top of my mind. I doubt she'd tell you. Right, I don't think so either, and I didn't ask her in the end. I'm not sure I have the courage to find out the truth. Just like the Aegers who came ashore, it took some several hundred years to forget that fear. That's how they could finally put down roots with their minds at ease to slowly become a part of Iberia. No one would cast aside a new life they earned for themselves to fight what could be an endless war, especially not when nobody knows when that disaster would actually strike, and when it actually strikes, everything could still be futile. Even I wish that I could live a new life, even after the doctor has taught me so much. In that case, perhaps we should turn back then. We can still make it. Perhaps. You're still going straight ahead. Oh, you're right. I'm still going straight ahead. Thinking back, after all these years, I haven't once thought of giving up my abilities to use my toxin. Perhaps I've never managed to break free of the souls of those Aegers who enslaved my ancestors, and deep down in my heart, I believe that the toxins in me will get the enemies they're meant for. How far down have we come? I lost track. Me too. This tower is deeper than I expected, taller. The confined space here is disrupting our senses. Oh, I think I'm hallucinating. What did you see?
Glaucus blinks.
A light up ahead. And it's slowly floating upwards. Switch your light off.
Amid the darkness, there is a white light swaying not far away. Blue Poison makes sure this isn't a reflection of their lamps. Is it an illusion or is it real? Which scenario is more dangerous?
Let's get closer, slowly now. Don't surprise them. Is it a threat? Prepare for combat. Frank, at the ready. Okay, we'll be making contact soon. There's a corner up ahead. Watch my hand. I'll knock 3 times. On the count of 3.
A bolt whizzes through the air. It strikes the fuzzy white light. No, not quite. Just as it was about to strike the object, its trajectory curved to the side. It's no problem. No one can see it. The bolt split in 2 soon after it was shot. 1 in the front and 1 in the back, capturing the white light. The very next moment, the white light suddenly expands.
Franker, maximum power. Wait. Amplifying microwave. I mean no harm. Ow. I hit my back. What a shockwave. Please don't do that again. If it's mercy you want, you should stop casting, caster. You mean my light? No, you're mistaken. This is just for lighting up my surroundings. I defended myself on reflex. Please believe me. I don't want to hurt you at all. No wonder it feels kind of warm and bright. Nothing about it makes me feel sick. Glau, don't let your guard down just yet. Her originium arts are not to be underestimated. This seems a little special even. Put it down, please. Could you also move your bolt away from my neck? Just a little, please. I'm too scared to even breathe now. I can lower my crossbow. But you need to drop your staff too. If you try anything funny, believe me, your reflexes are no match for my bolts. Okay.
The light extinguishes as soon as the girl throws her staff away.
A rhenium lamp. Alright. So, that light was yours. Are you after us? No, that isn't what I meant. I was waiting down below. There's no one else here, and when I saw your light, I thought maybe somebody decided to check this place out, so I started climbing the stairs to meet this guest. You said you've been here for a while. Who are you? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Arya. Well, Arya, are you an Iberian? Yes. Why? Is it obvious? I figured I'd ask. If you said no, I would have guessed Colombian or Victorian. I have my ways to make you talk. Why is that sending chills down my spine? You're an Iberian and a caster, and your Originium arts work as a light. Are you affiliated with the Inquisition? The Inquisition? No. I haven't ever met them. What are you doing here then? Isn't this almost an interrogation? We're just here to check this place out. It's more efficient to ask her directly. Besides, it doesn't seem like she noticed anything's off yet. What am I doing here again? Why, I'm not actually so sure myself. Do you have amnesia, perhaps? No, of course not. I remember how I got here, and that I spent the last couple days here. 2 days ago, I asked a local about my opportunities to make some money in the area. I needed work, otherwise I would go hungry. He took the last few coins I had and told me I could come and seek riches here. Sounds like she ran into a con man. He might have mistaken you for a bounty hunter. A lot of bounty hunters used to come to this area in the past. You have a staff, and you look like you are from a rather well-off family by your appearance. They may have thought you an aristocratic young lady looking for adventure. Oh, is that it? So they misunderstood me. They probably didn't. They couldn't tell right away what a gullible girl you are. Is that funny? No, my friend here may be a little shy around strangers, but she seems to be worried about you. Huh? Why? Thanks. It's okay. I'm just lost, and since I saw a lighthouse here, I thought I'd come and rest here a little. Huh? I was lost, yes. No, that isn't what I was asking. You said this used to be a lighthouse. Oh, yes. You can find lighthouses everywhere in Iberia. Have you never seen one before? Perhaps they're only seen along the coastline. I've been away for about half a year now, and the towns far from the coast they don't have lighthouses. Did you grow up by the sea? Yes, and not far away from here. It's a small town, so you probably haven't heard of it. How is it doing? Okay, I guess. There aren't that many people, so we all get along well. My teacher said we were lucky. The sea's disasters spared our home. That's great. Well, except our lighthouse. Ever since that day, our lighthouse has never lit up again. Since that day? Right, that one day several decades ago. The day when disaster struck. In that one brief moment, the entire Iberian coastline was shrouded in darkness. Ever since, it's never lit up again. Arya, you seem rather familiar with lighthouses. Why, that's because I grew up in one. In a lighthouse like this one. Please, don't get the wrong idea. My town's lighthouse is much better condition. There wasn't a lot of damage, it just won't light up anymore. The mechanical parts, the central control system, the power circuits, the automation core, the outside wall hologram emitter, and the wireless communications were all fine. My teacher would take me around the lighthouse every day to inspect and maintain everything. According to the manual, we even repaired the outside walls regularly. Why, I can definitely say that, aside from the aging materials, our lighthouse is in just as great a condition as it was decades ago. That's amazing. Your eyes lit up when you were talking about your lighthouse, just like when I talk to anyone else about Franker. Do you and your teacher manage lighthouses? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Yes, my teacher is a glorious lighthouse keeper. As for me, I'm afraid I'm not there yet. A lighthouse only needs one official keeper, and I'm just an apprentice. And it's been so long since I left, so I guess I'm not even an apprentice anymore. You left long ago, but you still remember all these steps like the back of your hand. That's because I recite them before bed every night. You really love your job, Arya. I want to see the scenery my teacher described to me. It was something her teacher had described to her too. Under the night sky, a multitude of intersecting courses in the sea lit up by the lighthouse, all the grand drilling rigs and sea forts glimmering in the dark as ships large and small come and go in their surroundings. It was far more bustling than any city on land and far more radiant than even when the sun burned its brightest. If you got close enough, you could even see the underwater cities that the Iberian eagers built along the coast's continental shelf. All of this was possible thanks to the thousands of lighthouses that stood on the Iberian coastline. Now, disaster struck our energy system. None of the lighthouses can ever light up again as they once did. Yet my teacher and I stayed to tend to the lighthouse. Every night my teacher would try to light it. The signal lamp doesn't work, so we made a new light source. Our light source may not be able to stand in for the real lighthouse and illuminate the whole sea around us, only a small corner. And ships may long have stopped sailing the sea. But we are still here. And you'll be there to watch the lighthouse, even if the coast will remain forever silent? Yes, we will. This is the top of the lighthouse. I inspected it a couple days ago. The lighthouse is in really bad shape. There was hardly anything left of it before. This is the only thing still here. What is it? It's a kind of energy core that the Iberian lighthouses use, the most advanced technology they use, and also the first to be destroyed. Is it broken? The original technology was lost. Neither I nor my teacher could restore its design. Without the complete energy system, we don't have a way to use the core to its full potential. Perhaps? If you don't mind, I would like to take this back to Rhode Island and inspect it with closure. Oh, I'm not saying I have a good grasp of this. Iberian technologies from those days have some really special wiring. Just like this core, all I can tell is that it's not based around originium technology. It doesn't use originium as its energy source. Not quite. It most likely still uses originium for its energy, but the foundation of the technology is very different. I'm even thinking that perhaps originium energy isn't the best power source for this device. Oh! What's the matter? Is what I'm talking about too boring? Can you really light up the lighthouse again? I think it's worth a try. It may take a while. I think I want to come with you. Huh? Does that Rhode Island you two are talking about need people like me? I don't know much, but I'll work as hard as I can. First, you need a resume. What's a resume? I am... Weird. Why am I feeling kind of dizzy? Huh? She passed out. What's the matter? Oh, did she get poisoned? Here I was thinking that Vidya is immune to my toxin, like you are. Though it looks like it just took longer for it to affect her. How should I say this? Perhaps her body isn't special in any way. She's just a little slow. Let's not analyze this right now. Do you have an antidote? You're out on a mission with me alone, so you got to have one, right? Relax, the paralysis is temporary. Let's head outside. She should come around after she gets a little breeze. Disable EMP field.
Finally! How are you ladies? Have you run into any trouble?
Only a brief interlude. Oh, you're finally awake? Sorry, it seems like I fell asleep. You came back around sooner than I expected. No need to worry. Our investigation was a success.
So, why can I hear a third person? Sounds like a young lady with whom I've not had the pleasure.
We met her at the mission location. Her name is Arya, and she gave us some valuable information. She'll be coming with us to Rhode Island to hand PR her resume.
Oh, well, let me welcome you in advance.
Hello. Right, in conclusion, this was a lighthouse.
A lighthouse? Did I hear that right? Our informant said it was really complicated by the looks.
I thought it was some important facility. It was built before the disaster in Iberia.
I get it now.
The inner structure is still pretty intact, though the related technology suffered heavy damage. We don't know for sure how much we can retrieve from here. And let the engineering team following this up know. This place has the potential to become a new Rhode Island office.
Okay. If this actually ends up becoming a new office, I will probably have to run back and forth all the time, won't I? And it's so close to that place too. Well, I guess we don't exactly have much choice. We aren't the only ones that need this either. The informant said there's been some refugees who escaped the destroyed towns to the south. They have a tough journey ahead and they'll need someone to look out for them.
Right, perhaps this lighthouse will end up being fairly useful. We can provide medical services for the infected in the area and help those in need, and we can watch the tides that draw toward the land closer and closer day after day. It may not shine upon the area anymore, but it can still watch over this coastline.
Alright, and there we go. Very quickly before we continue, I will be leaving that in the comment below as well, in the pinned comment. Just a quick correction. I believe I said 20, rather the completely wrong year, because I was looking up the wrong date when I was trying to remind myself when Preluding Lights came out. This came out in December of 2021, not what I said during this part here earlier. So quick correction there, it came out in December of 2021 and Undertides came out before this thing, couple of months. So technically this is foreshadowing for Elysium in Stultifera Navis, basically that. Basically they are setting that whole thing up. But yeah, anyway, pardon for that. I was looking at the dates and I realized, oh, I was looking at the record restoration date when I was reminding myself instead of the actual date. So apologies, it happens. But yeah, anyway, that is the setup. So let's continue on to our next one, which is titled simply Different. So let's start. Please wait here for a moment. We'll have someone bring you the contract. All the fine points of this collaboration are detailed in here. Please bring it back and have the Count read it over. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Miss Carnelian, are you listening?
Oh, sorry, I spaced out a little.
So, as I was saying, do you have any questions about this collaboration?
Not for the moment. I will bring this back to Count Hohenloch so that he may make a decision.
Wonderful. I look forward to the Count arriving at a decision that will benefit us both. Are you leaving already? If you have no other plans, Sir Feuerbach told me to accompany...
You needn't worry. Do let Sir Feuerbach know how thankful I am for his generosity. Since I am here, I will take a stroll around the city to see the sights.
Oh, would you like a guide then? I can arrange for one right away.
Please don't worry yourself. I will just be strolling about. Oh, this reminds me. I visited before when I represented the Count on our last collaboration. I believe that was before the Empress's last banquet.
Precisely.
If I remember correctly, this place was filled with the horns of other species as decorations. Are we trying out a new style? Take this ornament for example. You don't see its quality and lustrousness every day. If I have to guess, they must be made from solidified origin crystals.
That is correct. Miss Carnelian, I must say, you have a good eye. And for far more so than before.
You flatter me. As far as I know, stable crystals such as these can only be mined in the deepest parts of originium veins, and most of them are buried inside the originium itself. That makes them extraordinarily rare. And these crystals are far harder than stone. Normal carving processes cannot so make as much as a dent on them. Considering the difficulty of the process, I suppose it must have taken Sir Feuerbach some effort to amass such a massive collection of fine decorations.
It's not actually that difficult. Master Feuerbach found this collection of originium art pieces by coincidence when he diligently inspected his territory. He thought that their black luster is full of appeal and mystique, making them prime for viewing, and so he had us place them here so that they may be appreciated by all our visitors.
In that case, I guess we should raise a glass to his generosity.
Miss Carnelian, you seem to be familiar with the subject.
I can't say I'm familiar with them, though, I've seen how these are produced before, so it does stir my emotions a little. Take a look at this. For just a small chunk of origin crystal like this, you must dig several hundreds, if not thousands of meters deep. If you lose your footing on your way down, you will most certainly die. I heard the mining sites in this territory have had quite a few accidents of late. It's such a small trinket, but the amount of blood spilled for its mining could perhaps fill the knight's bathtub.
Miss Carnelian, I believe you are mistaken.
Oh?
For most, these items are indeed difficult to obtain, but they are merely seasonal decorations for Sir Feuerbach. Such considerations simply do not matter to him. Whatever his wish is, all he has to do is give the order. That is why we stand here. Do you perhaps see it differently?
I'm afraid you wouldn't want to know how I see it.
With all due respect, Miss Carnelian, you are indebted to the Count's kindness. The world was shocked when 2 years ago we found an outsider whom none of us have heard of serving the then underage Count Hohenloch as his attendant. This has never happened before. You should be more careful and consider the Count's position and reputation before you act.
It sounds like you're not very fond with the way I do things. And before you deny it, I've actually met plenty of people who antagonize me, as well as those who see the Count as an outsider among the nobles. So, am I more or less on point?
It is no simple task to have the entire Lithanian be so accepting of an outsider. But you don't seem to mind those rumors at all. Certainly you are no less talented than what the rumors suggest. You are bold as well. Anything I say can only hold you in high esteem.
You certainly have a way with words, but I will take that as a compliment.
As for the accident that occurred at the mines, you needn't worry. Our guards and casters are already on the case. You are right. We indeed need to be more careful given the situation. This accident will be dealt with accordingly. No one will be able to use it against the Count.
Oh, you think that's what I'm worried about? Okay, let's say that's how it is then. Though as far as I know, the way you deal with things accordingly isn't generally very peaceful.
We're merely ridding our blankets of dust.
Oh, so you're saying taking out everyone involved is a way of solving problems? It looks like I'm overstaying my welcome. Please excuse me. Before I go, let me remind you that while Sir Feuerbach is free to ignore the sick in his territory, the Empresses are no gentle little lambs. Looking down on them will not serve you well.
Oh, no. You must be mistaken, Miss Carnelian. We have never looked down upon the Empresses. The Empresses need authority. They need a stronger, authoritative rule. They want to be obeyed, not followed. They have already turned their attention toward us and made the time to deal with us.
Understandable. All rulers eventually walk down this path.
It's hardly a surprise. We are very familiar with how each other think.
Looks like you are pretty confident.
You are fearful because you haven't experienced Lithanian's past, Miss Carnelian. The Empresses, whether the Golden or the Black, simply do not compare to the shadows that once shrouded Lithanian. And that is despite the fact that it was them who overthrew those shadows.
You are saying?
I lived through that era myself. The red crystals hung high above the towers became a symbol of terror that parents would use it to force their children to behave.
The Witch King.
We don't speak that name these days.
Indeed, I seldom hear of anything on the subject, only some rumors here and there. I heard the legend that a red glow illuminating the entire night sky, and how it could be seen all across Lithanian. The older generation seems to never have forgotten this, yet they are always mum on the subject.
This is normal. Aside from trust, fear is also an effective way to silence men. I witnessed the Sea of Red too, and on the second day, the townsmen found that the people of the next town over were all dead. There, dead foul beasts were scattered all across the ground, with their feet torn. No one knows why. All they know is there were a red glow and the countless corpses it left behind.
This sounds like a horror story.
Alas, it is also nothing more than a story. There exists no reason, no regularity, and no explanation. No one dared to discuss it. Lithanian used to be like that. Of course, the Empress's rule is hardly lax either, but we at least know what we are dealing with. At the very least, we are not afraid to extend our greetings at balls and banquets unlike that era. We would cower underneath the throne's imposing presence and frightfully worry whether we would be so unfortunate to witness that unreasonableness firsthand.
It's hard to imagine.
It is indeed difficult if you haven't seen it with your own eyes. We don't talk about the past anymore. Now, we have a bright future ahead of us all.
A bright future, huh? Perhaps you are right. There is much that we can do. I wish we'll have a pleasant partnership. Now please excuse me.
So this is the Hyacinth Count's exotic attendant. The master is eccentric, and the servant is just as crude and bold as the rumors make her. How insufferable.
The air here is still and terrible. It reeks of smoke. Well, it's much better than before at least. The smell of progress and advancement. I'm surprised that I got used to it over the last 2 years. There are men in trendy clothes and shops everywhere. This is not different from any other city center. I'm starting to get sick of seeing this. What happened to the normal folks of the city? There's nothing to be appreciated in a song if the tone always stays the same. I guess I've made it to the outskirts. Now that's a change of scenery. If I'm not mistaken, that's... What should I do? I suppose I should contact the specialists. They should take care of it. Is someone following me? Is it the guards again? No, I can't let them catch me. Looks like things have calmed down. It should be okay now that I've come this far outside the city. Oh, is that right? Did
you find them? No, they didn't come this way. Keep looking. Those infected runaways can't be far. Come this way.
That was close. I didn't expect them to actually catch up. They are the noble's guards. There are some traces of arts too. Perhaps they have a caster or two. I'm not sure who you are, but... Thank you. No need to thank me. It was nothing. But it's still too early for you to lower your guard just yet. Those guys aren't that easy to shake. They will still be following you. Going by your looks, I guess you're not from the city? Relax. Right, it's not a bad thing to be wary of others, especially given your circumstances. I guess they have been chasing after you for a while? How long have you been infected? How did you know? No, I'm not infected. You're mistaken. I can see the crystals under your collar. Okay, fasten up. This will do it. Be more careful next time. Who are you, and what do you want? Don't worry, I'm not here to take you away or anything. Look, if I actually wanted to do anything to you, I could get the job done with much less trouble than the men who are chasing you. And I certainly wouldn't need to stand here and talk to you. That's a good point. Pardon me. Oh, do you finally believe me? You're starting to sound so formal again. I'm sorry. No need to apologize. I'm not someone who you need to be so respectful towards either. I've never been a fan of how the Lithanian nobles do things. My lady, are you... Drop the my lady business. But... No buts. Okay. Are you not from around here? I'm from Sargon. Have you heard of Sargon? No. What is it like? It's very, very far away, and it's a place of freedom. There are deserts there, as well as rainforests. Lords, Amir, big and small, lead their own territories, and everyone there gets to live a peaceful life as long as they can pay their tribute. There are also places so remote that you can't find them on maps. In those places we take care of ourselves. I've never heard of a place like that. That's to be expected. When I first came to Lithanian, I even doubted this country existed in the same world as my homeland. That sounds so mysterious. Do you find it hard to believe? No, it's just a little hard to imagine. I guess it'd be hard to visualize a place when you haven't seen it with your own eyes. Come to think of it, I said something similar not too long ago. I have to admit, the phony noble attendant might just be right. Oh, I spaced out again. No matter the case, this isn't a safe place to be. The guards will likely be back. We should go somewhere else before I tell you more about Sargon. Okay. Is everything you said actually real? Are there really rivers that flow from the sky and trees larger than whole villages? Of course. There's also a desert that's all as tall as the mountains. Look its golden sands and you'll find a large hole with countless treasures buried inside. Wow! I'm pulling your leg. Okay, don't give me that face. I wasn't really pulling your leg. It's a story I heard once. No one knows whether there's any truth to it. Perhaps they actually have a cave full of jewels and other treasures. I hope so. And this makes me want to go home. Why don't you go home then? Is it too far away? How should I put it? I hadn't planned on staying, but I ran into some problems, and I got myself tangled up with a troublesome fellow. I could have run off, but he definitely wouldn't be able to take care of himself, so I stayed to help him out. I thought you said it was a troublesome person. Why are you taking care of him? Have you two become friends? I wonder if we're friends. It's a little more complicated than that. I'm not sure I get it. Okay, that's for another time. Looks like the guards didn't come this way. You should be safe here for the moment. But I suggest you leave soon, just to be sure. Is it okay if I ask another question? Of course. Are there any infected in Sargon? Yes. So there are there too. But they don't see the sick people as a scourge to be feared. At least not where I used to live. They're just sick, that's all. The beasts in the rainforest kill humans as well, and if you're out gathering fruits and ends up falling from a tree, you could hit your head and die if you're unlucky. So what makes diseases so terrible? That's wonderful. It's not all smiles and sugar cubes. Life there is tough in most places. It's because of how tough it is that we don't worry about it so much. What about you? Does the Lord here send guards after anyone who's infected? We didn't used to be like this. My parents worked in the mines, and we lived in the area closest to the mining district. A lot of people there have gotten sick. All the older folks who work the mines get this disease in the end. Rocks begin to grow on their bodies, but they still have to keep working. Anyone who has just a bit more money wouldn't ever set foot on our street. Anyone who's not sick yet tries to move out of the area. It sounds almost like a quarantine zone. A little, but I heard you have to pay to move into better quarantine zones. They even hand out bread there. That's something that we can only dream of. But at least we can live there. Live how? A mine worker like your parents would never step outside your district. That isn't so bad. We have a roof over our heads and we make a small living. That's more than enough to me. At least that's what I used to think. But then the mine collapsed. My parents didn't come back. The guards sealed off the streets and started rounding up everyone they saw. And then no one dared to go outside anymore. Everyone stayed inside, but the guards would also go door to door and force their way in. What have we done wrong? So this is them dealing with it accordingly. A few kids and I sneaked out of a back alley behind an abandoned building while the guards were distracted. I know the men outside think that anyone who's sick has to die, but I don't want to die. I'm scared. There, don't cry. Where are the kids you escaped with? We made it to this area a couple of days ago. There wasn't anyone we could hide, anywhere we could hide as a group, so we decided to split up. That was the last time I saw them, and now I'm all alone. I need to find them. Calm down, let me... Shh, quiet down.
This way. Looks like someone has been here.
Calm down. Don't look at him. Breathe slowly. Good girl. Wait for me here.
Finally showing yourself, my lady.
I'm not one to keep my guests waiting when they come visit with such sincerity. You're alone. Where are the guards?
They needn't be here.
You sound very confident.
Lady of Sargon, why are you protecting an infected?
No special reason. I met her, and I thought I'd give her a helping hand. And what are you after? If the goal was simply to be rid of the infected, they wouldn't need a caster such as yourself to go through the trouble. You have been capturing the miners for the past 2 days. What exactly are your orders?
Are you investigating us?
Nothing so serious. I'm only doing a cursory investigation before we actually sign the contract. I wouldn't have figured this out, but I had a little enlightenment earlier today, so I have a good idea of how much Sir Feuerbach has covered up, using you and his guards. Should I perhaps share this with everyone here right now? You're quiet. Why so shy? I saw the slaves you were leading away while you were casting. They are infected, no? Looks like the dark memories that the Witch King left behind are not merely a thing of the past. Those cruel arts are still being studied. Is that what you're capturing the infected for? You're a quiet one. Looks like I found the wrong person to strike a conversation.
We needn't share our conversation. I'm merely greeting an arts user, out of courtesy.
Would you like to get down to business then? Personally, I prefer to stay out of trouble, but who am I to refuse an opportunity to witness an esteemed Lithanian caster's skills firsthand? What are they talking about? Slaves and research? Is that what they're doing with all the people they caught?
We have no intention of making an enemy of Count Hohenloch. Lady of Sargon, I've heard rumors about you. Your Originium arts are formidable.
I guess I should say thanks.
No need.
I've never understood you people. I see in Lithania an expanding, overbearing authority. At the same time, I see everyone here worshipping that authority. I've never come to understand why in my 2 years here.
You haven't been breathing the air here.
It's a bit too smoggy for my taste.
In that case, you will suffocate. It is the fate of all those who breathe foreign air.
You make that sound like some kind of curse.
If you wish to die to strange witchcraft, I suggest you try a Sarkaz, of an ancient bloodline. It's not part of our plan to fight you here. You may have an infected hiding there.
Oh, that's music to my ears. Here I was racking my brain thinking how to keep your screams down. I wouldn't want this to cause any problems in our partnership.
Arrogant foreigner. I can overlook this, but do not forget. Lithania has its own rules, and the rules here do not bend to any one person.
He's gone. I'm so glad we didn't actually end up fighting. I wouldn't want to ruin anything and get my ears pinned back by the little count. That's okay. You can come out. Why are you so quiet? Did that scare you? Look at what a crybaby you are. You're so much more timid than my little sister. I'm not scared. It's just, I heard what you two just said. What will happen to everyone they took away? Do you want me to lie to make you feel better? No. Okay. If you want to hear the truth, I guess all I can tell you is things aren't looking great for them. The nobles here want to make everything here go away. That's both the accident in the mine and the workers there. Whether they were caught by the casters or the guards, things don't bode well for them. This is what you wanted to know. Why? Oh, don't cry. I'm not good around girls your age crying their eyes out. What will you do now? Are you going to look for your friends? Right. I shouldn't cry yet. I need to find the others. If the nobles here won't have us, we'll leave this place behind and go somewhere else. I'm older than all of them. I'm the big sister. I need to protect them. And one day I'll avenge the people in the neighborhood. You leave this place, even if you have to leave your homeland? Even if I have to leave everything behind? I don't have much left anyway. You're right about that. Okay, if that's how you feel. There's someone much better suited for the task than me. What do you mean? You can come out too. Enough hiding, my specialist.
Sheesh, you make that sound like I meant to hide. Can't you let me make a decent entrance?
My bad, but your footsteps were pretty loud, asking me to pretend I didn't hear that just to give you a nice entrance is a pretty tall order.
Maybe that says something about what big ears you got then.
I'll take that as a compliment.
That's not a... Whatever.
Is this person a specialist?
Don't listen to her. My job is nothing that glamorous. I'm just a...
Aren't you guys specialists that handle infected problems? That's how you introduced yourself, if I remember correctly.
Don't forget you are one of us.
Ah, yeah, I know.
So half-hearted.
I know. Don't make a fuss about everything. Anyway, everything is you can see. And can I leave the girl to you people?
Well, no problem with that. Considering you're standing, it's not a good idea to bring her with you.
My, how dependable.
Stop playing with me already. That's another girl putting on. He weeps because of you. How many times has it been? I really don't get it. You keep saying you can't stir up any trouble, but you keep running into trouble head on every time.
I wonder why. I'm not so sure. I'm just doing this according to my principles. Excuse me. Will we meet again? Well, as long as you stay true to your beliefs now, I'm sure we will.
Those who are humble will always say, "This is where I belong." Those who are egotistical will always say, "This place belongs to me." Life in Sargon is shaped by the shifting sands. Here stands a woman of Sargon who is certainly not an egotist, but definitely not humble either. If you must change who you are to fit in, there is no need. You needn't fit in. Be yourself. I do like the last couple of sentences in this one. Do really like. Anyway, like I said prior, I'm very happy that I went away with this style of vignettes and we get proper stories featuring, you know, the characters that are on the poster for an event. So yeah, very happy that I went away with this because Carnelian seems to be, or rather seems to have, a pretty interesting past behind her. and maybe still chasing after her. And there is also her sister, which, for those of you who do not know who it is Beeswax, also a recruitable operator in this game. 5 stars. Has kind of very similar mechanics to Carnelian as well. But yeah. I would have rather had a full-on story featuring those two and getting to know how they tick, how they interact with each other, and you know, seeing their past, maybe seeing the shadows of their past chasing after them. But yeah, that is pretty much all we get out of this. Not even too much of a foreshadowing kind of thing for Lithuanian. We already through Volume 1 they knew a tiny bit, quite a bit more about Lithuanian than we heard here, and so far I don't think any of this came back in any capacity, unless I'm misremembering names, but yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, let us proceed into our final story, which is titled, very simply, Letter. And I'll say it again, foreshadowing much? 6:50 a.m. Clear. Rhode Island Landship. Operator dorms.
Morning! Huh, the door's unlocked. Guess I'll let myself in. Sup, Courier? Uncle Matterhorn? You guys in? Huh, nobody's home? There's no way they'd be sleeping in this late. If they're not in their room, maybe they already left? Darn it, I have to go and find them.
Lady Encia? What's going on so early in the morning? Wait, hold on. Don't run in the hallway. It's too dangerous.
Ah, there you are, bro. Don't worry, nothing bad's gonna... whoa!
Hey, watch out!
Whew, close one. Why is there a parcel here? Thanks, bro.
Good grief, I told you to be careful. What am I going to do when you actually take a fall?
I knew you were gonna catch me anyway.
Hey, Lady Encia, you're a fully fledged operator now. You can't be so reckless. What's wrong, Courier? Did something happen?
Ah,
Matterhorn.
Morning, Uncle.
Ah, the young lady. Good morning. Have you gotten used to life at Rhode Island yet? It's rare to see you up so early, though. Are you getting ready for a mission? Or are you not used to the beds here? After all, I do recall you having very high standards for your sleep environment. Back at the old house, Matterhorn helped pick out a bed for you when you were still very young, right? After that, you refused to sleep anywhere else, and never without hugging your little blanket. Now that you remind me.
Wait, hold your horses, Courier. Don't make stuff up. I wasn't that much of a princess. Don't underestimate an adventurer either, got it? I've got no problem going early to bed, early to rise. If you can't get a good night's rest and replenish your energy when you're up in the mountains, there's no way you'll ever become a good mountaineer. No matter how cold it is, no matter how thin the air is, you bet I can fall right asleep.
Lady Encia, you've grown up so much.
Besides, I brought my blankie with me anyway. No way I wouldn't be able to fall asleep.
Ah, so you ended up bringing it with you after all.
You've got a problem with that? Alright, let's stop talking about this already. Anyway, the fact that you two are heading out this early with these packages, are you going on a mission? And with this amount of luggage, it's looking like a pretty long trip to... heading back home?
That's right, we'll be getting ready to leave shortly. Yep, we have to bring some stuff back over there. Master Silverash has quite a lot of things to deal with, and Matterhorn and I will be going back to help out. Lady Encia, is there anything you'd like us to take back to Master Silverash? Matterhorn and I would be more than glad to help.
I do have things I'd like to give to my brother, but it's more than just that this time.
What else?
Well, darn it, come Come here real quick. Uncle Matterhorn, let's meet up at the cafeteria in a bit. I'm gonna go for a quick walk with Courier here. Oh, and tell my brother and Gnosis that I said hi.
Oh, very quickly, once again here, I wanna say that this came out in August of 2023 here on Global. The story that will succeed this one, which this one, yes, as you might be able to tell already, is setting up Break the Ice, is coming out, or rather came out after this one, about 10 months later. So in the year 2024, in June. So a lot of the names and things that they are gonna be saying throughout this story in here is pretty much a very big setup for Break the Ice. Anyway. Wait, Lady Ansia, not so hard. You're going to pull down my clothes. Lady Ansia.
Yeah, alright, this place should be fine.
Why are we avoiding Matterhorn? Is there something you can only tell me?
I guess there's a bit of that. Courier, can you keep a secret for me?
I'm afraid that depends on the situation. If it's something dangerous, I might have to tell Master Silverash.
Why do you have to be like that? Both you and Matterhorn are always taking my brother's side.
Well, Master Silverash is also looking after you.
Whatever, I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's not anything dangerous, so you'd better swear not to tell him anything. Anyway, are you planning to head up to Mount Carlan by any chance?
Not that I know so far. It all depends on Master Silverash's arrangements. There's no saying whether Mr. Gnosis and Lady Degenbrecher have plans of their own either. Why are you suddenly asking about this though? Is it related to Lady Enya again? Quick reminder, Enya is Pramanix.
I really can't keep anything from you. Actually, I wrote a letter to my sister. Back home, my brother controlled things too strictly, and I wasn't even able to sneak out to see her. I didn't even get to see her before I left for Rhode Island. It's only gotten harder. I haven't seen Enya in the longest time.
Lady Ansia.
So, Courier, would you be able to help me deliver this letter to Mount Carlan? I just want to ask her how she's doing, and if it's hard being a saintess. I also want to tell her that she doesn't have to worry about me, just stuff like that. I swear I didn't write anything outrageous. My brother couldn't care less about this, and he hasn't had a proper conversation with me in ages. As for Uncle Matterhorn, all he do is try to console me into waiting some more. So please, Courier, you're the only one I can count on.
I'm sorry, Lady Ansia.
So you can't do it after all?
It's not that I don't want to, but the situation in Kerak has been complicated lately, and it's unlikely that the Vine Bear Court will permit us any sort of contact with the Saintess.
Huh?
Even if I wanted to deliver the letter, I'm afraid it would be hard for Lady Enya to receive it.
I've never heard of this before. My brother hasn't told me anything about this.
Knowing too much isn't necessarily a good thing. The Master is looking out for you, and does not wish to burden you. Sending you to Rhode Island was another way for him to protect you.
He's always like that. He always keeps me in the dark, saying that he's doing this or that for our own good. In the end, my sister still left our home for Mount Carlan.
Lady Enya had no choice.
Fine, whatever. I guess we're done here. Stop it with that dour expression already, bro. Since there's nothing you can do about it, just forget the thing about the letter. Me being upset won't change anything, isn't that right?
Lady Ansia?
But at least promise me, don't mention a single word of this to my brother, okay? He's gonna give me an earful for sure if he finds out, and my ears are gonna fall off if I have to sit through another one of his lectures.
If Master Silverash heard your opinions of him, I'm sure he would be heartbroken.
As if! He has more important things to attend to after all. In any case, I won't keep you any longer. I've got to find closure first and ask if the stuff I wanted came in. But if I went down to see her this early, do you think she'd just shoo me out?
Judging by Closure's typical schedule, there's a good chance that she just fell asleep and won't be responding to any knocks on the door.
Good point. Maybe I'll wait till later then. Ah, that's right. Remember to bring me back plenty of sisty milk curds and pulled meat. I can't buy them anywhere else, and I haven't had any for a long time.
Don't you worry. Matterhorn has a long list already, including all of your favorite things. We won't miss any of that.
Excellent. Well, good luck, and have a safe trip. Uncle Matterhorn must be sick and tired of waiting in the cafeteria, so hop to it.
With your blessings, we will be back in no time.
Take care out there.
She waves after him.
So it's no good after all. Not at all unexpected, but I still can't help but feel a little bit let down. You're such an idiot, Ensiodas. Even if you send Courier Matterhorn to keep an eye on me, there's no way I'm gonna give up.
Once again, reminder, Ensiodas is Silverash's real name.
I'm not sure if Closure managed to get a hold of the cold weather gear I'm going to need to scale those snowy mountains. I can't wait. But when is Closure going to get out of bed? Enya, wait for me. The last of the wounded have been bandaged. What a relief, nobody was seriously injured. That's another mission complete. Next we'll have to cross the woods and return along the border between Lithuania and Victoria. Excuse me, but I won't be taking the same route back. Huh? Clifford, is there something else you need to do? Yes, just a little something I have to take care of. But don't worry, it'll just be a little detour to take care of some personal matters. I won't be gone for long. But, it's fine. I'll be acting on behalf of myself and nobody else, so I won't make any trouble for Rhode Island, and I'll talk to Dr. Kaltz myself after I get back. That's not what I'm worried about, though. Well, if you say so, Clifford, but make sure to stay safe, no matter what. No problem.
Courier. Good day. Yo, haven't seen you around in a while. Did you just get back? This time there were quite a lot of things that needed to be done, and the whole process took longer than expected. Matterhorn and that young lady Clifford were with you as well? Matterhorn did come with me, but we did not bring the young lady along. Speaking of which, I haven't seen her since we came back. Oh? Sorry, I must have misunderstood something. Not long ago, I saw the young lady packing a large bag of cold weather mountaineering gear, and she was dressed for the job too. I assume she was heading back with you. Climbing gear, and specifically for snowy mountains? Are you absolutely sure? No doubt about it. To tell you the truth, it's a hobby of mine as well. We talk about sweet deals on climbing gear a lot, which can save a whole bunch of money. If I'm remembering things right, your country is full of snowy mountains, right? Oh, yes it is. Lady Encia, surely you didn't... decided to climb up the mountains alone just to deliver Lady Enya a letter? Knowing Lady Encia, that is something she'd do. That can't be it, can it? If I get a chance, I'd like to take some time off and head over there myself. I've never tried climbing snowy mountains before, so I'll definitely be asking for advice from the locals when the time comes. Damn it, I can't get it out of my head. I have to find out for myself. I should have known. There's no way Lady Encia would have given up just like that. If it really is true, I have to stop her. Pardon me, but I must get going. Huh? Wait, why are you running? Sorry, but some urgent personal matters came up. Kirak welcomes one and all. I promise I'll take you sightseeing when we get the chance.
Take this road and then head to the west. Ah, there it is. That little snow white summit. So that's what the peaks of Kierak look like from a distance, huh? Whoop, can't really tell how hard that mountain is to climb from this distance. Might even say it looks kinda cute, that holy mountain of ours. But I know that's a really tough peak to summit. Those who haven't tried it themselves will never truly understand. Like us Silverashes. Outsiders could never understand.
My, that's rather unfortunate. Do you see Motherhorn and myself as outsiders too, Lady Encia? Though it is true, hearing it does make my heart ache somewhat. Finally, I've caught up. Career? Thanks to your unfamiliarity with the terrain, you spent a lot of time taking this part of the route cautiously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to catch you.
Wait, why are you here, Career? I thought
It's too late to stay silent now. I thought I didn't tell anyone, is what you wanted to say, right? After realizing that I wouldn't help deliver the letter for you, you prepared all this cold weather mountaineering climbing gear and took on a mission that would put you closest to Kierag. After finishing the mission, you'd let the rest of the team head back to Rhode Island first and take a little detour to take care of some personal matters. Such is my Lady Encia, you certainly do act with great decisiveness.
But I still ended up getting caught.
The fact that I saw so many hints but still failed to see through your plan makes me the stupid one. Lady Encia, are you planning to scale Mount Carlan again with only your bare hands? Or do you plan on barging into the Santos' residence to deliver your letter with no consideration for your own safety? Have you considered what would happen if you made a fuss before the Winebear court?
Ever since I was little, every time I tried to sneak out to play, you and my brother would always catch me. I never thought I'd be able to keep anything from you two. You're exactly right. This is my plan. Since I faced down Mount Carlan once, I can do it a second time.
I can't allow it. It's too dangerous.
But if I'm powerless, what else am I to do? I'm always powerless. Powerless to stop the rift between my brother and Enya from growing wider and wider, and I'm expected to just let it happen. On the day that Enya left home, I was hiding out along the side. I knew she didn't want to go, and we both thought that Big Brother would protect us. But he didn't lift a finger. He didn't stop those people from taking Enya away. I thought my sister would cry, but she didn't. When I saw her walk out the door, in my heart I wished that she would have cried out.
Master Silverash also suffers his own hardships.
I know. Even though the two of you never tell me anything, I'm not stupid. I can see it. Ever since he came back from Victoria and founded that company, even you and Uncle Matterhorn have been getting busier. I understand. I don't want to blame my brother, but Carrier, have you ever seen the Saintess of Kierak?
Lady Enya? No, you mean the Saintess.
Correct, the Kierak Saintess. I have, on one occasion, from a distance. At first, I was so excited to finally get a chance to see my big sister, but the only thing I saw was the Saintess of Mount Carlan, standing there as if frozen in ice. From where I stood, there was nothing of my sister. Ever since then, I knew that Enya could not possibly have been living the life she wanted atop Mount Carlan.
We may have difficulty understanding each other's points of view from our current positions, but I think Lady Enya is a different person now. You can't look at her like you did then. The Saintess is very important to Kierak, and honestly, Lady Enya's situation may not be so bad. She stands to be the master of an entire religion, the very faith of Kierak.
That's not the same. Not at all. You can say that the Saintess is noble, exalted, capable of being detached from our feelings. But our relationship is so much more important. We are literally sisters. As siblings, if we never truly try to understand each other, or even worse, end up becoming enemies one day, what are we going to do then? I can't just wait until the day finally comes. I'm scared, so I have to do something. Even if it's something as simple as asking Enya how she's doing.
And what if it's not what you want to hear?
Then I'll just climb up the damn mountain. Lie, cheat, or steal if I must. I'll take her from that place. I'm serious. I'm gonna do it.
Good grief. How can you make something like that sound so simple?
Hey, this is a symbol of my determination. Why are you making fun of me? That's uncalled for, man.
The determination to lie, cheat, and steal, huh?
That's just a worst case scenario.
That's true. I can only pray that the worst will never come to pass. Just thinking about you climbing up the mountain to kidnap her. Ugh, just thinking about it is giving me a headache. Looks like you won't change your mind no matter what I say, right?
That's right. I'm not joking. If I say I'll do it, I'll do it.
Even if I insist on stopping you or reporting this matter to Master Silverash.
Even if my brother objects, even if he wants to lock me up, I won't give in. You better not underestimate me, because I'm not that simple to shut me down.
I guess that settles it then. You've always had that streak in you. You'll do whatever you set your mind to, and nobody can tell you otherwise. If even Master Silverash can't do anything about it, what can I do but surrender?
You mean...
Hand that letter over to me. I'd rather not live with the constant worry of wondering when you're going to do something foolish. It's better for me to help you figure out a solution, not to mention safer too. You're really putting me in a rough spot here, Lady Encia.
You're the best, bro. If my brother is really opposed to it and somehow finds out and plans to punish you, just tell him that it was all my idea.
If only the master was so easy to convince. But this might not be such a bad thing either.
Huh? What'd you say?
Nothing in particular. Just thinking out loud. But let me say this in advance. Even if I agree to help, the most I can do is deliver the letter to the nearby monastery and then see if there's any way to get it up the mountain. That place is as close as we can get to the area controlled by the Vine Bear Court. Any higher up the mountain, and that is no longer a place you can come and go at will. I cannot guarantee that your letter will reach Lady Enya.
No problem. The fact that you're willing to help means we at least have a shot. If it doesn't work, I'll just think up some other way.
I hope whatever you think up doesn't involve climbing up there. By the looks of things, she really won't give up. If the day actually comes, Master Silverash is going to get the mother of all headaches.
One more bowl. Chloe, I can't have another bite. I admit defeat. Who gave you the idea to compare your appetite to that of a hungry engineer who hasn't eaten in 3 days? I'm so hungry I could swallow a meat beast whole. You lock yourself in your workshop again? What you working on this time? Wait a sec, did nobody bring you food? How'd you starve for 3 days? What about your little machines? I accidentally set the clearance level of my door to max. Plus I was wearing my headphones so I couldn't hear the door at all. And it's like I was doing it on purpose. All that fighting with the Reunion broke a whole lot of equipment, and repairing everything was giving me a huge headache. Can't even do this job anymore without listening to some music. That explains it. Thankfully, Amiya went to fish you out today. Alright, we done yet? I'm not here to listen to a sermon during mealtime. By the way, you're here to buy more climbing gear? How come I didn't see you use the Colvetter gear you bought half a year ago? Ah, if there was a problem with the quality, just let me know. I'll go and knock some, I'll go bargain with the manufacturer. About that, It's not that. There's nothing wrong with the gear, I just didn't need it for the time being.
I'd be more worried if you ended up using it.
That voice! Carrier!
Good afternoon.
Oh, afternoon. Did you just get back from the mission? How come you're the only one here?
The others went to look for the doctor first. As for me, I'm here to pass something on.
And yeah, she replied?
That's right.
Awesome. Now let's make like last time and talk over there. Carrier. Carrier. What's going on with you? You don't look so good. Nothing happened with Thania, right? Or did something happen to Ensiotis?
Hey, don't panic. There's nothing of the sort.
Then tell me what's going on.
The situation's a bit complicated. But in any case, Lady Encia, there is one thing Master Silverash wanted you to pass on.
He wants me to pass on something?
Yes. This is an invitation for the doctor. And there we go. That is all of our side stories. And also, side note, the ending of Letter is literally where Break the Ice pretty much picks up. And this story, again, I corrected myself already earlier, but yeah, considering this came out in December of 2021 and Break the Ice came 6 months later, this is pretty much the setup for Break the Ice. And for those of you who have read Break the Ice, have you, and maybe listen for this for the first time now, have you seen how much setup there is for this, and foreshadowing for Break the Ice is in just this thing? Man. But yeah, they pretty much set up a lot of things. They mentioned, I love the mentionings of these names, and now that I'm remembering back into the day, I was like, I saw the names and I was like, sister? Because I wasn't back then like sister, brother, stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, these are siblings. I think it only started to click with me back then because I wasn't too familiar back in the day with who is with who family wise, and even if there are family and connections between all the operators, yeah, I was still fresh to the game back then. But yeah, obviously Clifford, Silverash, and Pramonix are all siblings of the Silverash family, and I think this is the first time where we hear all three of their real names. They literally just spell out all three names. They foreshadow Gnosis with the story, and Degenbrecher. Even though Degenbrecher we already kind of knew about, so that was nothing new there. But yeah, a lot of stuff gets foreshadowed and set up for Break the Ice. And speaking of Break the Ice, for those of you who have not had the opportunity yet to break the ice, to read or see or hear what Break the Ice is about, like I said at the beginning of the video, one of the additional links that I will leave in the pinned comment and at the top of the description box of this video will be a full playlist for the whole Break the Ice story for those of you who want to just listen through it. And I would kind of recommend as well, if you're watching this like a day or on the day before Zilbenehat comes out, which is pretty much a continuation of, from what I'm understanding, pretty much a continuation of the Break the Ice story, considering it will be picking up after the events, and I do not know obviously right now, but I'm presuming that a lot of the stuff from Break the Ice will be from time to time dropped in and mentioned, probably either loosely or pretty much straight on, as the stories do that quite often. I would recommend going through Break the Ice. It is a good story. It introduces Karag in full. Its religion, its structure, its people. Story was cool as well. So yeah, enjoy it. All I can say. All I can say is enjoy it. But yeah, let's do a quick roundup of this whole thing, as I said at the beginning, considering we are now done. So, how did it feel back when this came out for the first time? Well, let's put it that way. A lot of this is back in the day when not much was set up. So, Rusthammer, still to this day, I would love to see more about them. We still don't really have much on them. This one, again, it's more trickling in information about Minos. Again, one of those things I would love to have a story set into Minos, just to properly see what the hell it's about. But maybe one day, Benna and all of that stuff with Iris, the grandmother, the dreams, the children and stuff like that. Look, one day it will happen, right? There was so much already. I mean, there is a character in this whole thing that has full on very high detailed art. Not in this story, but in another one. And it's like, huh? Eventually will happen, right? Right? Lighthouse, I already said a couple of things here. Back then, I was happy to see a bit more about Iberia, considering I do love me my Lovecraftian bullshit. Always excited for those stories, and seeing a bit more foreshadowing from a Lighthouse here was very nice, but not much there. Let's put it that way. Not too much there until you get Stultifera and you know, see Elysium in his element, question mark. But yeah, the story about Carnelian, I already said. I would have loved it rather to have a full-on story. This, even back then in the day when I was reading this for the first time, didn't tell me much. Outside of, oh, I already knew this stuff about Lethanian, this is not telling me anything new. And when it comes to Carnelian, well, she seems, again, like I said, she seems interesting, but I would love to have a proper story with her. That's pretty much the TLDR of this whole thing, back then and now. And like I said, for Letter is pretty much a setup for Break the Ice. And back in the day, like I said, back in the day, hearing those names took me a bit to put two and two together, who it's talking about. But again, didn't really have much knowledge about Kierak until the story dropped. So, didn't really stick in my mind for too long, I'll be quite honest. Kinda also forgot quite a lot of elements of this thing before Break the Ice came out, and I think Break the Ice is something that kinda started to remind me of that I heard some of these elements before. But I think back in the day I couldn't even remember where I heard some of this stuff before. But anyway, doesn't matter. Overall, this was pretty cool. Had a couple of very funny things with Benna here, and Pallas being Pallas, being the drunken priestess, not drunken, still drunken priestess, was nice. And yeah, overall, pretty okay. Nothing too crazy about. I mean, it's literally outside of the first story, it's literally 5 operator records back to back. So nothing too crazy there. And I'm very happy that nowadays the vignettes are pretty much just straight up stories. And yeah, that would be about that. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, for listening, and if you like this video, please consider leaving a like on it. It would help me out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Like I said at the beginning of this video and the previous one, this is pretty much it. We have covered literally everything that is in the game, and only new stories await. And speaking of new stories, like I also said, tomorrow, after this video comes out, will be literally a new story, which I will be immediately starting to cover on the channel. First part will be out as always. And of course, this doesn't mean anything to anybody who is watching this at some later point, so apologies. But yeah, thank you very much. If you want to support me more directly, there's also memberships on the channel with 3 different prices on them. And like I always say, there will be no video behind the memberships. or anything like that, like locked behind a paywall. It's literally just there to support me and my work more directly, to bypass the, you know, ads and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.